Hello and welcome back to Scale Down Customs. This is going to be part 4 of the Polar Lights Ford GT build. So I let the clear coat cure off, and like I said, I've got some dust spots in there that I want to sand out, and then I've got some spots like these vents, I'm going to mask off and paint those black. The window surrounds, going to paint those black as well. It's the semi-gloss black, more of a rubber look than a gloss look. So anyway, we're going to keep working on this thing, and got a little more body cleanup to do. Some detail painting, and then final assembly. So let's move forward with that. So for my wet sanding, I'm going to just use some 3000 grit sandpaper. I'm going to let that soak up for a little bit just to soften it up just a little bit, and then I like to add just a drop of basic dish soap into my water just to give the sanding a little more lubricity as I'm working on those car bodies. Alright, so I'm just going to hit a couple of those dust spots, and then we'll polish it back out. Alright, so I got all my dust spots sanded down, as well as some of that orange peel. Just kind of got everything smoothed off as much as I want. And after I did the 3000, I went over it again with a 5000 just to kind of take out some of those deeper scratches from the 3000 and make polishing a little bit easier. Alright, so for polishing, I'm just going to be using some polishing compound. This is just kind of a fine or automotive grade polishing compound. So I'll be using some of that. I'll be using my polishing sponges, and these are just 1-inch polishing sponges. The orange is a little firm, the yellow is medium, and the black is super light for a finishing polish. So we'll be using those, and then my power tool is basically, it's way overkill, but the last one I had I burned out. So this is just basically a construction grade close quarters framing drill. So I'll be using that with a 1-inch chuck, with the backing, with the Velcro backing, and yeah, we'll be doing some polishing. So let's get to that. Alright, so I finished getting her all polished up. When I'm done polishing, I'll go through and just kind of run some water over the car body in the sink, and just kind of use a little paintbrush to kind of work the water in there and get the polish out of the seams. Anyway, so next we're gonna get this thing masked off and finish the detail painting, the window surrounds, and some of the vents and stuff. And then I think we'll be ready for some assembly. So for my masking tape, I'm just going to be using the regular Tamiya masking tapes. I really like those. And then I'll be using a very fresh, sharp X-Acto blade so that I don't have to put a lot of pressure in to cut through that tape. And I'm going to get this thing taped off, and then we'll be ready for some paint on that. Alright, got her all taped up into a body cast. So let's go spray the Tamiya semi-gloss black. right, that actually turned out pretty good. So this is an example of why you want to use primer. It gives something for the paint to stick to, because I hadn't really primed underneath here very well. And when you peel that tape off, the paint just comes right off because there's no structure for the paint to stick to. So just a good example of why we use a good primer before we paint. Anyway, I'm going to let that dry up, and then I'm going to wipe that down, and I think we're about ready for some assembly. All right, so I'm almost done fighting with this car, and I am fighting with it to get this thing together. I've got a couple little glue spots. Of course, putting in the brake light lens, some glue squeezed out, and I rubbed it off, which you're never supposed to do. Just let it dry, and then... So when you get glue on your body, some of the things that I've tried in the past is just wet sanding it, just really lightly with your high grit sandpaper like a 3000, and then polishing it out again, just like you would with the body. And that seems to work. So I think I'm gonna have to try that to get some of these glue spots out. So I'll do that. And then the only things I have left, the rear bumper has not gone on yet because I have that to clean up. And then I'm a little nervous about how I'm gonna put on the rear view mirrors. I'll probably trim these down a little bit so I don't have to put so much pressure to get those things on. And then that will be it for assemblies. So let's get this thing finished up, and then we'll get some glamour shots for this thing. All right, that's the car done. I'm gonna get the rest of the body cleaned up a little bit, get my fingerprints and smudge marks wiped off, and get this thing ready for the glamour shots. But anyway, nice kit, but as much as I had to fight those pieces to get everything to go together, I probably won't be doing another one of these kits. Granted, I don't know. I mean, it is a snap together kit, so I don't know that it's designed to be taken apart and everything painted up like I've done. So regardless, based on my building style, again, I probably won't be doing another Polar Lights kit. Anyway, but hope you guys enjoyed that build series for this Polar Lights Ford GT build. If you have any questions or anything, be sure to let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.